Are you dreaming of spending time in paradise with crystal clear waters, stunning beaches, and a rich culture? Well, today we're comparing two of Southeast Asia's spectacular seaside destinations, Phuket, Thailand, and Nha Trang, Vietnam. But here's the twist. Today I'm going to show you why Nha Trang might just be the better option for long-term travelers looking to settle in style. Hey there, blue sky travelers. Today we're going to dive right into the battle between two beautiful beachside destinations, Phuket, Thailand and Nha Trang, Vietnam. If you're looking for a beachside locale for an affordable option for your long-term retirement or semi-retirement travels, we'll explore why Nha Trang could possibly be the best option for you. So let's start with probably one of the most important factors when you're a retiree looking for long-term travel options, cost of living. Phuket's been known for quite a few years as being the go-to location in Southeast Asia for North Americans seeking sun and sand. It's always been known as quite an economical option for us, but I have to tell you, over the last few years, it has gotten exponentially more expensive. Nha Trang, on the other hand, is very, very affordable, and you don't really have to sacrifice any of the quality of life or the things that you're looking for when you're seeking a place to spend some time in those dreary North American winter months. The biggest expense you're going to be looking at when you're traveling generally will be your cost of accommodation. In Nha Trang, you can get a comfortable one-bedroom near the beach for about $250 a month. In contrast, Phuket, a one-bedroom is going to run you about $600 a month for something of a similar vein. You'll also find dining out to be very economical in Nha Trang as well. You can get a delicious hearty meal in a local restaurant for in the neighborhood of $5 per meal, especially if you stick to the local cuisines, the Vietnamese food. Phuket is kind of the same. It's a little more expensive per meal in Phuket. We were generally looking in the $7 or $8 for most of our meals per person. If you stay with anything that is local, so Vietnamese food in Vietnam or Thai food when you're in Thailand, you will find that you can stick to a budget on those terms. I will say that when we spent time in Thailand and in Vietnam, the cost of living for us was much cheaper in Vietnam than it was in Thailand. For a similar period of time, we spent under half in Vietnam compared to what we spent when we were in Thailand. There wasn't really a big contrast between what we rented in both places. They were both close to the beach, easy walking distance to great restaurants and every convenience that you needed. If you're on a fixed retirement or travel budget, Nha Trang's affordable cost of living lets you stretch your savings or your budgeting dollars so much further than you'll find in Phuket. And that's going to give you a lot more leeway to do the fun things that you want to do while you're there. Go out and enjoy that morning coffee whenever you want, and you're not going to have to worry about breaking the bank. Another huge advantage to Nha Trang is the slower pace of life. Both cities have similar populations of 360 to 380,000 people, but Nha Trang really does feel like a smaller center. It was just so much more relaxed than we felt when we were in Phuket. Now, granted, we were in the Old Town, which is a very busy tourist area, but I don't feel like other areas that we visited in Phuket were really that much quieter. Whereas when we were in Nha Trang, we traveled to quite a few different areas of the city, and we really felt like all of them felt about the same. There weren't any areas that seemed to be outlandishly busy compared to others. If you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure to hit the subscribe button to follow us for more travel tips and ideas. The nice thing about Nha Trang is at this point it still feels like it's a hidden gem. It's very undiscovered, I think, by a lot of people in North America, whether that's because it's Vietnam, which is a communist country, and people are a bit concerned that it might feel like there's a lot of military presence or kind of that old style communist regime feel, but we did not find that at all in Nha Trang. We did see a few people in military uniform, but that was really only at security checkpoints outside of major government buildings and things like that. We didn't see anybody on the streets with any sort of weaponry. We didn't see any big groups of military personnel out and about anywhere. Nha Trang really is the tourist destination for the Vietnamese. So it's a beautiful beach resort where the Vietnamese like to go and take their vacations because of course it has 18 miles of gorgeous beachfront. So while Vietnam is a communist country, we didn't feel like there was really any sort of military presence there. It was very, very relaxed. There was nothing that made us feel like we were in any sort of jeopardy or that we were being watched by Big Brother or anything like that. It was a beautiful beachfront resort town. The other thing that I will say is Nha Trang feels very, very safe. No matter where we were going or what time of the day it was, we never had any hesitation about walking the streets of Nha Trang. We went and did some exploring to find a couple of hidden gem restaurants that we found on our Google Maps. And some of these were down little alleys, and we never ever felt like we were at risk walking anywhere. In terms of the mix of people that you'll bump into in Nha Trang, you'll find a lot of visitors from China and from Russia. And you'll also find in the restaurant selection, there is a lot of Russian restaurants here. So if you're a person who loves borscht and dumplings, you'll find a lot of those available for you here in Nha Trang. And they're about the same cost as Vietnamese food. And it gives you a nice variety of ethnic foods to eat because you can choose between Vietnamese and Russian food, which was great when you're staying there for a longer period of time. Because the food in the restaurants is so economical, you likely won't feel the need to go out and shop for your own foods and do your own cooking in the rental that you have. You might want to pick up things for breakfast foods because, of course, here it's quite hard to get a Western style breakfast. And if you're feeling like a little bit of home, that's a great opportunity for you to please your palate. Now, one thing to keep in mind when we're talking about the busyness of Nha Trang or the atmosphere of Nha Trang, while the sidewalks are very good, they're quite wide, they do have a little bit of a different way they do things here in terms of traffic and parking. So parking seems to be able to be done anywhere. If you're walking down the sidewalk, quite often you'll see there'll be scooters that are parked right the way across the sidewalk, or there might be a car or a taxi parked right in the middle of the sidewalk. And while it seems odd to us, there is really no street parking available, so they've just made the sidewalks their parking spaces. So you just basically have to walk around them and then you're back on sidewalk again. But for the most part, the sidewalks are very wide, very flat, and in really good repair. Now, in terms of driving, I personally would stay away from driving in Nha Trang. The rules of the road are quite foreign to us Westerners. I don't know if the rest of Vietnam was the same, but there were very few traffic lights or stop signs in Nha Trang. It seemed like when people got to an intersection, they would essentially honk their horn to let oncoming traffic in the other lanes know that they were coming, and then they would have the right of way because they honked their horn. So you do need to be super careful if you decide to get behind the wheel, because things there are done quite differently. The other thing that's a little strange, but still kind of similar to Phuket, is pedestrians don't have the right of way crossing streets. You will find that if you are trying to cross the street, nobody will stop for you. You end up kind of doing that Frogger thing where you go a little ways, stop, wait for a couple of cars to pass, and then continue on your way across the street. People there just seem to think that that's the way things are done. We saw young kids, old people, all doing exactly the same thing to get across the road. These two things are really by no means negatives when I'm talking about Nha Trang. It's just getting used to a different country's way of doing things. Another thing I want to talk a little bit about is healthcare. If you're a retiree or semi-retired or even just a younger long-term traveler, it is nice to know that if something were to happen, you have reliable health care in the place that you're staying. We found Nha Trang to have great healthcare. It has several amazing hospitals and world-class medical centers, and they all seem to be equipped with the latest technology. And in our experience, while the doctors didn't speak English, the people who were taking you in from reception were very well versed in English, and they kind of acted as the translator between you and the doctor in the room. So you don't have to worry about navigating the language barriers. In our experience, we actually used the healthcare to get some testing done that we needed for when we returned back to North America. We were able to go in, get our stuff done. They provided us with printouts of everything that we needed in English. So we were able to send that back to our physicians back home, and the process was extremely smooth, efficient, and a lot quicker than what we would find here in North America. We had results back within the same day. Another nice thing that you'll find in Nha Trang is there's actually a pretty good sized expat community here. If you're looking to make friends or just simply speak English with somebody that is from somewhere similar to where you're from, whether it's North America or Australia or over in Europe, it's nice to know that there is a group of people there. They hold social events. You'll bump into them out in restaurants or work share spaces. And it seems like everybody is very, very friendly and outgoing and quite happy to spend a little time sharing with you their experiences in Nha Trang. One of my favorite things about Nha Trang, and something that I think you'll love as well, are its beautiful beaches. If you've watched any of the other videos that we've put out, you'll know that I'm a big fan of walking by the water. Nha Trang has a beautiful tree-lined walkway that runs parallel to the beautiful waters. It stretches on for a long distance, so you can walk for miles. And if you'd rather get a little closer to nature, slip off the slides and you can walk right along the beach. The beach is long and flat, and the sand near the water is very firm. It makes for perfect walking. You don't have to worry about twisting your ankle or hurting your knee. And if you're a person that's not really a walker, the beach is great for sunbathing. The sand is soft and white, and there's quite a few places along the beach where you can rent a chair and umbrella for the day. And very close by, there's a series of beachside cafes where you can order a cocktail or enjoy a nice cold beer on a beautiful sunny afternoon. If laying on the beach isn't relaxing enough for you, I'd highly recommend you take a day trip out to one of the mud baths that are within close proximity of Nha Trang. We chose the 𝐸 Resort. It's known as a little bit more of a luxury resort, but the pricing wasn't any different between the three that we had as options, so we chose that one. The resort features therapeutic mud baths, mineral water baths, along with several hot pools and some man-made waterfalls. It was a great way to spend the afternoon. We really enjoyed it. And if you happen to make your way to Nha Trang, we'd highly recommend it. And if you're an outdoor enthusiast, Nha Trang has lots of opportunities for you to enjoy hiking and cycling and exploring several of the waterfalls that are nearby. Nha Trang is the perfect place to live an adventurous yet relaxed lifestyle, and you're just a stone's throw from the beach. If you're a person who loves pampering and personal care, you'll find Nha Trang to have them in abundance. Pretty much every block has one or two spas on it where you can go and get a relaxing massage or a manicure or a pedicure. With massages only costing about $10 for an hour, you're probably going to want to put a little money aside in the budget so that you can afford to do it 2 or 3 times a week. So there you have it. Affordable living, great health care, a vibrant expat community, absolutely gorgeous beaches, and plenty of ways to relax and pamper yourself while you're there. Nha Trang offers a lifestyle that many long-term travelers, retirees, and semi-retirees dream of, all without the high costs and large crowds that you're going to find in Phuket. Whether you're looking to spend your days relaxing on the beach, or cycling, hiking, or finding other outdoor adventures, Nha Trang offers the perfect balance of both. If you're considering long-term travel in Southeast Asia, Nha Trang is going to be the paradise that you're looking for. Thanks so much for joining us today on Blue Sky Travelers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this video with friends who might be interested in Vietnam, and let us know in the comments, which do you think you'd prefer, Phuket or Nha Trang. See you in the next video.